Okay, guys. So, welcome again to another day. So today, what we discuss? Today we discuss about modules and packages inside Python. And module and packages are very simple thing inside Python that we discuss today. And I believe that you guys are almost good with the topics that we have covered so far. And now we are going to following up with our further discussion. Okay. Now after this video, I mean after today's session, I will upload some more videos on generator, iterator and so on. Then I think mostly we will be done with the Python section. Object oriented programming part is left from my end that I will upload. I have already one older video for that I will upload for now, so that you guys can start watching them. And other than that, I will try to teach you more about OOPS as we go forward. Okay. So today we are going to use VS Code instead of Google Colab. So far you guys must have seen me teaching on Google Colab, but what I do, I will teach you the topics now on VS Code because we need to know about VS Code, right? At the end, the end-to-end implementation that we do, that will happen only on VS Code. Okay. So for that, what I have done, I have created one simple folder called YouTube. In that I have my own folders where I upload other videos like Docker and vibe coding. So full stack AML, this is the course that I'm running right now, and this is the folder that I created. So if you are using Windows system or MacBook, you can come and create a folder like this, okay, which I created right now. Okay, now what I do, my VS Code is already opened for me. What I do, I will quickly go and open folder. I click on this, and then I will come to this YT section. Okay, then this full stack AML section, I'll just open it up. Okay, so it will open one full page of VS Code where I am going to write all the code and everything. Okay, so that's all you need to do so far. Now let me discuss about what is this package and module concept. Okay, so far you guys must have seen what we did. We wrote some Python code in our Google Colab, right? Some cell, like if I create a Google Colab notebook. So let me show you how you can play with the VS Code interface also. I'll give you the idea about that too. So this is how the VS Code look like, and I'm assuming that you do not know anything about VS Code. If you know, it's good. Now the thing is, you can see multiple options here. Like if you click on this, it will create a new file. If you click on this, it will create a new folder. If you click on this, it will refresh your entire files and folder. Okay, you can just right click on this and you can create multiple things, but this is more handy, so I am showing you up. So I can create a file like experiment.ipynb. Okay, so it will open a Jupyter notebook like the Google Colab, and I can click on this plus code button to create multiple cells like how we had on Google Colab. Like that, you can select the kernel. Now what is kernel? Kernel means it's a Python, because at the end we were using Google Colab, right? And it has Python behind the scene, and it was fully maintained by Google. But in our case, it is not maintained by Google or anyone. It's our laptop, it's our system. So we need to have Python in our system. So if you do not have Python in your system, you can install that, and I will upload a separate video in terms of installation of VS Code, anti-gravity, Claude, desktop and everything, so that you guys will get some idea. But today I'm not showing you that thing. So select kernel and click on that. I click on this Python environments. In my case, I have this many Python versions, and either of them I can use. I'm choosing 3.12.0, which is the most stable version so far, and as days will go, this version may change in terms of its I would say its validity or its issues that will be there, right? So 3.12 so far is stable as per my knowledge so far. Okay, now I can write any random code like print hello guys. Okay, I can execute. You can see it is printing hello guys, right? So this is what we did so far on Google Colab. Same we can do inside our VS Code. Okay, now the question is, today we are going to learn about modules and everything. So before coming into that point completely, let me just show you something more. So far guys, if you have seen, we have written everything on Google Colab and all, but when it's about real use cases, when it's about building a proper project, you need to know how to write code, and you will not write code on Google Colab when it's about building end-to-end projects. Okay, so on building end-to-end projects, you need to have one proper file structure, folder structure, so that you can do it. Okay, and that is why we have this modules and packages wala concept. But now the thing is, what we do generally when we build any end-to-end project, we create a files like this. Let's say um, let's say string code.py. String code.py. So .py is the Python extension, right? So now whatever code you will write inside this py file, and then you can execute this py file. So py file means what? Py file means a separate Python file. It's a script where you write your Python code, and it is not like the notebook that you can execute by click on this run button. You need to execute this file altogether. So if I really simply type nothing, just simply type hello guys. Okay. So if I click on this, you can see it is showing up hello guys, and how come I got this? You may not have this in your system. So if you go to this section extension, you can run something called code runner. Okay, yeah, this code runner, this is the extension that you need to install inside your VS Code to run your py file using this play button, like we used to run for the notebook. You can install this extension code runner. It can help you to execute any kind of programming language like C, C++, Java, PHP, Python, anything that you want to run. So that is why if you click on this, see, it has executed this line, and I have hello guys, it has printed that. But in real world cases, trust me, I don't use this way, because it's good when it's about doing basic projects or something, but when it's about executing code properly, I will show you another way. So if you are using MacBook, then in your case you have to come here, click on this terminal, click on this new terminal. It will open a terminal here. Okay. For you, if you are using Windows system, you will get some option here only. Okay. So if I can see my Windows system, so yeah, on top only you will get the terminal option in Windows, as I can see in my system right now. Okay. So yeah. So how to execute this Python code without this play button? Just simply run Python 3 string code.py. Now Python 3 you need to call if you are using MacBook. Just to let you know, Python 3 you need to call if you are running your code in the MacBook terminal. If you are using Windows, you only need to type Python string code.py. Is that clear, everyone? I believe it's clear. Okay. All right. Okay, so this is what it is. All right. So generally, whenever you write code, you will write this way, and in real world cases, you need to write codes like this. So if I quickly just go to maybe Safari, and if I search my GitHub, then on my 100 GitHub. So if you Google this now, this is my GitHub ID. It will show my GitHub directly to you. See, this is my repo. Again, I haven't updated my repo yet, so it's my older repo. So if you see any one of my project, like this one, let's say the one project I made, I can recall this project. Yeah, this project. Okay, if you see this project has this many files and folders. So this is how it looks like when you build any end-to-end project. You can see you will see multiple py file inside multiple folders. This is one of the py file, and inside this py file you will see the multiple codes are there, right? So we will write code like this, and this is how it looks like when it's about building end-to-end projects. And this project I did almost 4 years ago. So when I was fresher, on that time I built this project. Just remember when AI was only coming and I was writing codes like this. Okay, so it used to be like that for me. Okay, So I got 3 stars also, like few people followed my start my repo and so on. Okay, so it was good experience for me. Okay, so yeah, so now we discuss about module. What is a module? So just now I created a py file, right? .py file. So module is just a single py file. Any Python file can be imported and its top level names. Like you can see it's my py file. You can use this py file as module. And how do you do that? If I really show you that, let us say I will create a new file. Okay, let me just rename this file string utils.py. Okay, I just renamed my py file. Okay, and another thing, guys, when it's about creating py files like this, make sure that you give it a proper naming convention. Don't give any random name or something, because tomorrow if you are writing the code, you know what you have written. After 2 years you will forget what you have written. So you need to write your code, write your file names in such a way, tomorrow after 2-3 years also, even if you are seeing your code, at least you get it what the purpose can be of the specific code that I wrote, right? Or maybe you might be working for a company in the future, right? So your code might be used by some other developer, and the developer has to understand what you have written, right? So that is why I kind of wanted to let you know about it. Okay, all right. So I've created a simple file called string utils.py, and I am going to write some Python functions here. And I hope you guys know about Python functions, right? So now I'll write some Python functions. Define a shout. Function name is shout. You will take a text as an input, and what it will do, it will simply return text.upper. It will uppercase the text, and I am concatenating with this 3 exclamation mark. Simple function. Now the code, see, now onwards whatever code I will write in such a way so that you understand how to write code in production systems. You need to practice it from now onwards. So whenever you write any Python function or any code, you need to make sure that you give it a proper naming convention as well as a proper doc string, so that tomorrow if anyone reading your code, they will get it. So for that only I am writing a simple doc string, like yeah, so I think my AI is giving me that. So convert text to uppercase and append exclamation marks. So this is the description of the function. Now you guys only tell me if you guys have seen this kind of description. Don't you think you will get it very easily what this function is doing? Alright. So like that I write few more functions, like define reverse. So the function name is reverse string. Again my AI is giving me the code, so I am taking its help. So I am saying define reverse string. It took the text. It has simply written reverse the given string. Simple, I am doing ::-1 to revise my string. Okay. And another function that I am writing, that is define is palindrome. Okay. So what this code is doing? So is palindrome function, what it is saying? Check if the given number is a palindrome or not. Okay. So I'm simple in a text, and I believe let's not accept this code. I'll write my own code, or else you guys will not get it. So what does it mean a palindrome? Palindrome means if you have a text and if you reverse that text, if that is the same text, then that is called as palindrome. Okay. So like I am writing a simple variable called cleaned equal to, okay, text dot replace. So if there are any spaces are there in my string, I am simply replacing them with nothing. Okay, and guys give me a second. So now cleaned equal to text dot replace. So to replace all the spaces that are there, right? Then I am converting it to lowercase. Okay, that's all I am doing. And now what I check? I will check the cleaned data is equal to the cleaned : :-1. So this : :-1 will reverse the text, and this cleaned will contain the clean text, normal text without any spaces. Now after the reversing of this text, if they are the same text, if they are showing like same, right? In such case it's okay, then it's a palindrome, like pop pop. If you see, if you reverse pop, it will be pop only, right? So that means it's a palindrome. That's the example, that's a classic example of uh, palindrome. Okay, so this is the function that I have written. Okay, all right. Now I'll learn few more functions. Like I'll create a new file like math operations. Okay, I'll create a new file like math operations.py. So now this file will contain some mathematical operation. And what I do, this mathematical operation like very basic Python function that I'll write, and I'll take AI's help to write the code very faster. Okay. So first of all, I write a value of pi equal to, see my AI is not suggesting now, it's very bad. It's coming now, 3.14, actually leave it, 3.14. Okay. Now I write a function define add. This will simply do the adding. Okay, so I'll simply write the doc string. Yeah, see, I took AI help to write the code. The simple adding function, it will add two numbers. Simple multiplication function, it will multiply two numbers. Simple division function. So in this function, the one condition I wrote, that if your b, that means if your denominator is by chance 0, then it will be like value error, and if it is not, then it will be normal calculation. Okay. Okay, let me add another one, that is, let's say define subtraction, and another one define, let's say circle area. Yeah, is, you know, right, how to calculate the area of a circle is pi square, right? So it's a simple that only, pi multiplied by r radius and radius, pi square. This is the formula, right? Okay, great, right? So now I am done with creating my modules. So these are my two modules. If you see, math operations.py has some code, has some Python functions. My string utils.py has some functions. Now anyone whoever is coming to my folder and look at these file names or modules, they will get it that okay, this file contains all the code related to mathematical operation. This file string utils containing code for all the string based operations, right? So now that is why naming convention is very important. Okay, now what I do, I will create another file main.py. Okay, now inside the main.py I will call this modules. Okay, I will call this modules. So there are multiple ways how you can call module. Okay, so this is my main.py, and let's say how to call the module. You need to import it. Import based on the file name that you have created. Let's say I want to import mathematical operation. So I simply type import math operations. So it has imported this file. So since I have imported this file, I can call all the functions that I wrote here. Like let's see, if I print math operations dot pi, so pi value was there inside this mathematical operation, right? Inside this file mathematical operation.py. So now if I simply print mathematical operations.py, why I wrote it like that? Because this pi exists inside this math operation.py file, which is a module in our case. And how do I call it? I have to call it like this only. First import that file, then call it through that. That's what I'm doing. And if I simply run this code, python python 3 main.py, see I got 3.14. How it got? It got from this folder only. Okay, like that I can call like this, print math operations dot add. Now you know, right, I can call all this, see, dot add, and you know, right, what my add function contains. It contains two inputs, a and b, and it will simply return a plus b, and that's what I'm doing here. Add 5, 3. Then multiply, I had multiply function here, I just called it here. Then divide here, I just called it here. Okay, then subtract here, I just called it here. Then same for circle area. And if I simply execute the code now, python main.py, sorry, python 3 main.py. See, I got all the numbers. So this is how you can call anything that you want to call. Now there's another way how you can do the same thing. Let us say that you do not want to call these math operations that big. So there are 2-3 ways that I will show you. First of all, you can import like this. Import math operations as mo. So now you don't have to type that big mo, a math operation. You have to type mo on the same code. Import math operations as mo. Now you don't have to type math operation every time. You just short form type mo. Then I'm calling it. See the code still will work. See. Okay, mo is not defined. It is saying. Let me just show you that through the terminal only. Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, python main.py. Sorry, python 3 main.py. Yeah, see, I got the same answer. Okay, another way is, let's say you do not want to use all the methods, like we have add, we have multiply, we have divide, we have subtract, we have circle area. You only want to use circle area, let's say. So for the, what you need to do, simple, just call it like that. From math operations import circle area. Now simply print circle area 5. So I am passing the radius as 5, and if I clear this and if I execute this code, python 3 main.py, it will come as 78.5. and this is a simple function. Now this is how it works. If you are really something doing that, okay, my circle area will not is something that I want to use, only I want to use, you can use it like that. So these are the ways how you can call any module. So far whatever we did, that is called a module. Like that we had written string utils function. So string util does the same. We need to import it simply. Just import now. Import string utils. String utils. Okay. So string utils, you can call the same thing. Like I am writing a string like this here. Hello world. Then I am simply calling string utils dot upper. Not dot upper. Let's say call it shout. String utils dot shout. If you see, I have a function called shout. It takes the input called text and it shows up the, so you can see it's converting into uppercase and it is returning the exclamation mark. So if I just come to the main py, execute this code, python, I guess, yeah, see, I got hello world like that. Okay, like the way I imported math operation, same way you can import the string utils. Okay, and the way that we are doing, we are creating modules like string utils module, math operations module. Then we are creating a separate module where we are calling all of them, so that it makes our job easier. If you see, right guys, that the code that we call print circle area, for that your code is very clean. Your main code is very clean, right? Your main code is very clean. If you see, okay, the main code is very clean, and because of that, whatever codes you wrote in these files are completely independent of each other. They will not cause any issues, right? All right, I hope this part is clear so far. And guys, these all are files. I created the files by clicking on this section, new file. If you want to create a folder, you have to click on this section to create a folder. Okay, just to let you know. And what is the difference between the IPYNB and the .py file? So IPYNB is an extension. It is an extension for Jupyter Notebook, and py file is the extension of Python code, script mode, Python script mode code. Okay, so IPYNB, it's an extension for Jupyter Notebook, and .py is a simple script mode Python where you write your Python scripts. Because if you see, Just tell me guys, if you have written these functions inside your notebook, don't you think it would be very difficult for you to manage? If you have 1,000 functions you are adding inside the notebook, will it, like, don't you think it would be very difficult for you to manage? Other than that, how do you deploy it in some server? How do you maintain the code structure and everything? It's very difficult. This notebook exists just because you need to practice your coding. That's it. And .ipynb is the Jupyter notebook. Don't get confused. It's not something different. Jupyter notebook is only the ipynb thing that we discuss. You do not see the .ipynb extension in your Google Colab, but any notebook, any Jupyter notebook, it has the extension .ipynb. You need to keep that thing in your mind. All right. So now what I do, I will explain package. So far we have understood what module is, and we have implemented our math operations.py as well as string utils.py, and there we had written multiple functions, okay, as tools that we can use in the future. Now the question is, what is a package? Before explaining what is a package altogether, let me tell you a scenario. So imagine that you have this math operations.py, string utils.py, right? And each of the files containing their own purpose. Like this math operations.py containing some mathematical functions, and this string utils containing some string based functions, right? So now the question is, you can imagine that you have written this all functions, right? Now you start a new project. So do you copy paste those every functions into every new file? Do you think that? Like, let us say these are the functions are very widely used, like most often you will use them, right? And that is how we create such functions. Now the question is, will you really copy paste every time this kind of utility files? Because right now we are learning, right? That is why we have only 2 utilities files. But what about the scenario when you have multiple utilities files? Even in production scenario, you will have multiple utility files. So do you really think you will copy paste every time when you start a new project? You may forget something, you may forget to copy paste something, or you may forget any files or something, right? That would cause a big issue for you, right? So such cases, package will help us to fix that. Now what is a package? So let me come with a hierarchical definition. First of all, the single py file that you can see, math operations.py, string utils.py. So this single py files can be treated as a tool. Like a tool we have to do the addition. Tool means the functions that we are talking about. Okay. Then like our math operations.py containing multiple stuff to do. Addition, multiplication, division, subtraction, calculating the circle area, right? So what all this? This all together can be treated as a module, because one module contains multiple tools to do. You can see multiple tasks my one module can do. This module can do multiple mathematical operation, and this module can do multiple string based operation, right? So now if I merge this math operation.py and string utils.py together, that called as package. Okay, that's it. So packages are nothing but collection of modules, you can say. Okay, and what I do now, I will explain it to you with some more examples so that you actually get it properly. Okay, so what I do here, create a new folder here, and this is the way how you create package. Okay, so let us say my folder name is my package, package. Okay, this is the folder that I am creating. Okay, so inside the folder I'll create something called __init __py. What is this thing? I'll explain later. Ignore it for now. I'll explain this thing later. And inside this my package folder only, I create a new py file. What is the py file? Let us say I'm creating a new py file called greetings.py. Greetings.py. Okay, like I have mathematical operation.py, I have string utils.py. Similarly, inside my package, I have one new file called greetings.py. Your py file can have any kind of name. And what this greeting.py will contain? This will contain one very basic Python function. So the function is defined hello. Okay. It will take the name as input and it will simply return hello and the name using f string. Simple Python function, and you all know Python function so far. You should be able to understand this, right? Right? And init.py I am keeping it empty for now. Okay. So I have done that. Now what I do? So this is one package that I create, a very basic package that I created in front of you. So I have one folder called my package. You can give any kind of name. I have just given my package. You can give any kind of name. Now inside this package only I will contain my modules. Like the greeting.py is one of the module where I have this function that I will be using. So let's come back to our main.py. This is our main.py. You can see our main.py is empty completely, right? So now what I do is simply call from where I want to call this hello from where, from greetings, and where greeting is there inside the my package. So what I can say that my package dot greetings import hello, and then I call hello, I pass my name. Okay, and now if I quickly clear this out and execute my python 3 main.py, you will not see any answer. Why you did not see any answer? Because I did not print it, right? So I had to print it to see the answer. So I quickly clear this out and now execute this code. See, I am getting hello Tanmay. How I got it? It has called this function, and just now we created our very first and very basic package. Now what is this init.py that I created? So see, when you want to create a folder and you want that Python should treat this folder as a package, you need to create a file called init.py. This empty file is what tells Python this folder is a package, not just a random folder. That is the purpose. Init.py helps Python to understand that this my package folder, I need to treat it as a package folder, not just a random folder. And there is another use case of it. I'll just show you now. If you see here what I did, I called from my package dot greetings import hello, right? And you can do another shortcut here. What is the shortcut? Inside the init.py you can write the same thing. Like let me type it from my package from my package, my bad, dot greetings import hello. Okay, I did that inside the init.py, right? If I come back to main.py, now what I need to do, you just need to call simple like this, from my package import hello. If I execute this code will work. This is the magic of init.py. So when my init.py was empty, on that time I was calling this one from my packages, then greetings, import hello from there. But in my init.py, when I imported the same thing, now I don't have to go till this greeting file now. I can directly call it just by calling it from package import hello. So when I called from package import hello, what it did, it actually executed this init.py file, and this init.py file containing the actual import command, which was going through the package and the greeting and the hello, right? And that is why we use this init.py, so that we can make our implementation very simple, right? So now what I do is show you a few more examples to make you understand how to build package. Okay, so let us say I create another folder, my math. This is the folder, and I want Python to treat this folder as a package. So what I do first, I create a init.py. Okay, after that I'll create another file, because this file will contain the mathematical, some operations, right? So let me give it a name like operations.py. Okay, that should not be an issue. And now what I do, I'll write some functions. and I'll copy paste this functions from here only. Okay, I'll just use this same thing. I'll just copy paste from here only. Okay, so I have pasted the same functions inside the my math, and as I said, I'm keeping my init.py empty for now. Okay, now what I do, I'll simply come here in my main.py. I'll just remove all this code. I'll call from my math dot operations import, let's say add. I'm calling the add function. Now I'll call the add function add in 1 comma 2, let's say. If I execute the code now, python 3 main.py, see, I'm getting the answer as 3. How come? Because my operations.py containing this add operation, which is simply doing the addition a plus b, and that's what I got as an answer, right? That we can do. Now other than this, you can call the multiplication, division, you can call them same way, no problem at all. You just need to import. You can multiple things also. You can import like this. See, if you want, you can import multiple things like this also, and I can use my AI to generate the answer, and you can see it has done everything properly. So I've imported all of them using a my math module. Now it's not a my math package, not a module, my math package. So my math package contains one py file, but in real scenario you will have multiple py files. I will show you some more examples so that you get it. So let me create another folder called school. Now I want Python to treat this folder as a package. For that I need to create a init.py file just to make sure Python treat it as a package. Inside the school I need to create two files now, because I want to show you that your package can contain multiple py files. So first file name is students.py. Okay, and this will contain a very basic function, enroll function. It will take the student name and it will simply print. It will simply print nothing much. It will simply print has been enrolled in the school. Simple print statement, right? Now what I do, inside the school only I create another file that is called grades.py. Now grades.py will contain another function. Let's say define let's say average. It will take the list of scores. It will simply return sum of score divided by length of score. Simple math. I am expecting that my function will receive a list of scores and it will calculate the average. Simple function. Now what I will call it from here, I will call it from school dot let's say grades import average. Okay, now I will call the I print it first. I will call the average, and in the average I pass this list of numbers. Okay, and if I clear my terminal and if I execute this code, see, I got 86.6 as an average. How did I got it? I got it from the school, and from the grades I got the response. Likewise, I get the same for the students also. If I let's say if I import from school dot students import, what was the name I given? Enroll, right? So just use it, enroll. Okay, and if I simply call enroll and if I simply pass, let's say my name Tanmay, and if I execute the code, so you can see Tanmay has been enrolled into the school, as well as I got the average value, that is 86.6. So if you want, you can create packages like this where your one folder can contain multiple files, and each file is nothing but a module, and now this all collection of modules can be treated as package, and it's a one shot place for you to keep everything ready. You just need to use this package everywhere on your every project. Okay, so in the future time we will do more such scenarios. Okay, when we do multiple projects, as well as when we talk about NumPy, pandas in the future, we'll discuss about that. But so far I wanted to explain about modules and packages, and I hope you guys have understood it properly. So we'll catch up again, guys. Thank you for watching.